Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's progress ahead. Uh, we are now looking at one of the analogies or stories being told by Hiranyakashipu to the uh, uh, to the wives and sons of Hiranyaksha, and he is talking about the discussion between Yamraj and the friends of a person who has just died. Yeah, and here we know that king of Ushinara, Suyadnya, has died in the battlefield, and all his friends are just now around his dead body, lamenting. Let's see uh, what happens further in this Hiranyakashipu story. Okay, let's read the next three shlokas together. Yeah, Prashant Prabhuji can read this.
Hare Krishna. विशीर्णरत्नकवचं बिभ्रष्टाभरणस्रजं शरनिर्भिन्नहृदयं शयानमसृगाविलं प्रकीर्णकेशं ध्वस्ताक्षं रभसा दृष्टदच्छदं रजः कुण्ठमुखाम्भोजं छिन्नायुधभुजं मृधे उशीनरेन्द्रं विधिना तथा कृतं पतिं महिष्यः प्रसमीक्ष्य दुःखिताः हतास्मनाथेति करैरुरोभृशं घ्नन्त्यो मुहुस्तत्पदयोरुपापतन्.
Very nice. See what this long shloka says.
His golden bejeweled armor smashed, his ornaments and garlands fallen from their places, his hair scattered and his eyes lusterless. The slain king lay on the battlefield, his entire body smeared with blood, his heart pierced by the arrows of the enemy. When he died, he had wanted to show his prowess, and thus he had bitten his lips, and his teeth remained in that position. His beautiful lotus-like face was now black and covered with dust from the battlefield. His arms with his sword and other weapons were cut and broken. When the queens of the king of Ushinara saw their husband lying in that position, they began crying, "O Lord, now that you have been killed, we also have been killed." Repeating these words again and again, they fell down, pounding their breasts at the feet of their dead king.
So obviously, all the Rudali that is happening there at the death of the king by the king's men, by the various women, by the friends of the king. Here, Srila Prabhupada highlights this Rabasa Dasta Dachadam. The dead king, while fighting in anger, bit his lips to show his prowess. But still, he was killed by Providence. All that prowess was of no use because Vidhina, Providence killed, didn't allow him to live, and he was killed. And this proves that we are controlled by our higher authorities. Our personal power and endeavor is not supreme. Yeah, that is a very clear understanding that anyway we know. Okay, let's look at the next one. Yeah, Niti Madhuri.
Hare Krishna. रुदत्य उच्चैरदयिताङ्गघ्रे पङ्कजं सियचन्तय
Inchanti.
सिञ्चन्तय अस्त्रैः कुचकुङ्गकुमारुणेः विस्त्रस्तकेशाभरणः शुचमनृणां सृजन्तय आक्रदन्या विलेपिरे.
Yeah. Srujantya and Kucha Kumkumar. Kucha Kumkumaranaihi.
कुङ्कुमारुणेः.
Yeah, I mean, these words are joint words. You have to say them together. It's not Sujantaya. Sujantya.
Sujan.
Okay, very nice. Let's read.
Translation. As the queens loudly cried, their tears glided down their breasts, becoming reddened by kumkum powder, and fell upon the lotus feet of their husband. Their hair became disarrayed, their ornaments fell, and in a way that evoked sympathy from the hearts of others. The queens began lamenting their husband's death.
So as we have probably seen, the same thing is also happening even in the Satyuga. the death of a very near and dear one causes so much of pain, and that pain is here described in the crying of the women around of the kingdom of Ushinara. Yeah, Pawan Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण। अहो विद्यात्रा करुणेन नः प्रभो भवान् प्राणितो दृग्गोचरः श्याम दश्याम उशीनराणामसि वृद्धितः पुरा कतोऽधुना येन शुचा
Vivardhana, very nice.
विवर्धन। Translation: O Lord, you have now been removed by cruel providence to a state beyond our sight. You had previously sustained the livelihood of the inhabitants of Usainara, and thus they were happy. But your condition now is the cause of their unhappiness. Hare Krishna.
So when he was alive, he was giving happiness to everybody. Now that he has gone beyond their sight, and such a thing is causing them unhappiness. Okay. Next, yeah, Srinivas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Tvaya kritagnyena vayam mahipate katham vina syama suhrutamena te tatranuyanam tava veera padayo sushrushatinam dishayatra yasyasi.
Very nice.
O king, O hero, you were a very grateful husband and the most sincere friend of all of us. How shall we exist without you? O hero, wherever you are going, please direct us there so that we may follow in your footsteps and engage again in your service. Let us go along with you. Hare Krishna.
So that's what they are thinking, that they can also go where he has gone because they want the association of that loved one again. Yeah. So, of course, this also relates to the sati pratha that is there, and therefore they also are saying that you've died now, we will also die along with you, and that's the concept of sahamarana. Srila Prabhupada refers to that sahamarana, where the sati aspect happens when Pandu also died. The two wives, and Kunti and who's the other one? Madri. Yeah, so Madri dies and Kunti stays back because she has to take care of the children. And that's the position women used to take at that particular point. Of course, it's abolished now. But Srila Prabhupada says that such was the intense chastity that was probably the reason for this voluntary kind of sati. Okay, let's read next. Yeah, somebody had a comment. Sorry, who was it? I couldn't hear. Okay. No, yeah, 7 to 35. Yeah, Chaya Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
एवं विल्पतीनां वै परिग्रह मृतं पतिम् अनिच्छतीनां निर्हारमकोर अस्तं संन्यवर्तत.
Sanyavartata. Okay, very nice. Yeah, go ahead.
This time was appropriate for the body to be burned, but the queens, not allowing it to be taken away, continued lamenting for the dead body, which they kept on their laps. In the meantime, the sun completed its movements for the setting in the west.
Yeah, so the day almost got over and the lamentation was still going on, and they did not allow for the body to go. And Srila Prabhupada refers to this Vedic tradition that if a person dies during daytime, it is customary for the funeral ceremony to be performed before the sun sets. Yeah, that's the consideration. If he dies at night, the funeral must be completed before next sunrise. Before the next sun's entry or exit, the funeral must be taking place. That's the original pratha that was there, the Vedic tradition, and therefore they were trying to take away the body, but the queens did not allow. The various women did not allow, and here Srila Prabhupada refers to how the attachment to the body is more for women, and the consideration that that the body is just a lump of matter now. Now that the soul has gone, that does not come up very, very quickly. So here, Srila Prabhupada also refers to how this is used for even by the milkman. So he says, we have seen sometimes that when a cow's calf has died, the milkman cheats the cow by presenting before her the dead body of the calf. The cow who would not otherwise allow milking licks the dead body and allows to be milked. Yeah, so that is the that foolish men and women do not they consider the body as the self, and therefore they do not allow the funeral process to happen. That's the point here that makes a long purport, interesting purport about the what must be done to the body. That the body is to be destroyed immediately and not to be kept unnecessarily for a long time. So interestingly, Srila Prabhupada tries to put a timeline to this entire story. He says the incident narrated by Hiranyakashipu from history must have taken place millions of years ago, because Hiranyakashipu lived millions of years ago and was even then quoting from history. Yeah, so when was Hiranyakashipu? So therefore, the same ignorance of the bodily concept of life is still prevalent. That's the point. And Srila Prabhupada also refers to some scientists who want to keep their bodies frozen because they think at some point of time in the future, there is a possibility that they will be able to come back again into the same body. Yeah. So, of course, the other aspect Srila Prabhupada also brings in is the queens did not want to deliver the dead body because they were afraid of dying with the dead body of their husband. Yeah, so that's the other consideration. Okay, let's read further what happens. Yes, Santosh Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Tatraha preta bandhuna matshutre paridevitam aha tana balako bhutava yam swam mutspakata.
Very nice.
While the queens were lamenting for the dead body of the king, their loud cries were heard even from the abode of Yamraja. Assuming the body of a boy, Yamraja personally approached the relatives of the dead body and advised them as follows.
So Yamraj also heard the entire crying, and when he heard that they were not allowing for the body to be released, he himself comes. Yeah. And he assumed that it's a body of a boy because there are so many women were crying. He thought it is the mothers, and they are all crying, and therefore he came himself. This is an interesting purport. Let's read this purport. Yes, Santosh Prabhuji can read this purport ahead.
Sometimes the living entity is forced to give up his body and enter another one according to the judgment of Yamraja. It is difficult, however, for the conditioned soul to enter another body unless the present dead body is annihilated through cremation or some other means. The living being has attachment for the present body and does not want to enter another, and thus in the interim he remains a ghost. If a living being who has already left his body has been pious, Yamraja just to give him relief will give him another body. Since the living being in the body of the king had some attachment to his body, he was hovering as a ghost, and therefore Yamraja, as a special consideration, approached the lamenting relatives to instruct them personally. Yamraja opposed them as a child because a child is not restricted but is granted admittance anywhere, even to the palace of a king. Besides this, the child was speaking philosophy. People are very much interested in hearing philosophy when it is spoken by a child.
So Yamraja comes there as a child. That's what he says. Assuming the body. Oh, he assumed the body of a boy. I thought he assumed that the person who was killed is a boy. Sorry about that. So he assumed the body of a boy and he approached them. Interestingly, this very important point that is being made as to why cremation or burial is very, very critical is exactly because of this. Because the living entity's attachment for the present body, it will not get released and go to another body till it sees that, oh, there is no chance of going back to the existing body, because the entire body has got destroyed or cremated. Yeah, so that is the key consideration here in terms of why the body has to be kind of cremated or buried or whatever is the consideration for the last rites. That has to happen soon so that the jiva who is inside, because it has so much attachment to the existing body, that attachment does not go away even though the event of death has occurred, and it will still remain there. Okay, let's see what Lord Yama has to say in this particular story. In the next verse, now we can read.
श्रीयमोवाच अहो महिषां वयसाधिकानां विपश्यतां लोकविधिं विमोहः यत्रागतस्तत्र गतं मनुष्यं स्वयं स्वधर्मापि शोचन्त्य पार्थं Shri Yamaraja said, Alas, how amazing it is! These persons who are older than me have full experience that hundreds and thousands of living entities have taken birth and died. They just should understand that they also are apt to die, yet still they are bewildered. The conditioned soul comes from an unknown place and returns after death to that same unknown place. There is no exception to this rule, which is conducted by material nature. Knowing this, why do they uselessly lament?
Yeah, so that's the consideration that Yamraj is bringing out, is that already everybody is aware that the soul is coming temporarily and is going to go away after this temporary condition of the human body or whichever body that it has taken place. He, of course, the lamentation is twofold. One is out of ignorance. Now, the other is out of also the loss of association that the person feels. Yeah. So one of the, of course, here the biggest consideration here is that where has the jiva gone? We also want to go there. So that is the lamentation. So of course, if it was a place where they could easily go, they would have been allowed. But unfortunately, it is not a place where they can go. So what do you do? There's no point in lamenting, is what Yamaraj as a boy is making. And here Srila Prabhupada refers to this verse from Bhagavad Gita, that every created being, they are unmanifest in the beginning, which means they are in the spiritual original state. Then they get manifest in the interim state, which means they get bodied or embodied, and then they get unmanifest again. Yeah, when they are annihilated. So what is the need for lamentation? That is the point that Lord Krishna makes when Arjuna has been lamenting about not wanting to fight. So therefore, says there is no need to lament, because anyway the soul is going to come and go. Yeah, and whatever time it has here on this material world is based on his past karma. So there's nothing that you can do. You cannot control karma. So therefore, if he's going, you can be mature about it and let it go, and unnecessary not lament. That's the point that he is making. Sorry, the Srila Prabhupada talks about the two classes of philosophers about the existence of the soul. People do not believe in existence of the soul. And he says in either case, if you don't believe in the existence, then also there is no need to lament. If you believe in the existence of the soul, then also there is no need to lament. That's the point Srila Prabhupada makes. That even if for argument's sake we believe the atheistic theory, there is no cause for lamentation. Yeah, because then whatever the body, it's come, done its deed, and it has gone away. So that's the point that Srila Prabhupada makes. And of course, the story of the entire creation he puts out in a very short set of statements, but how manifestation takes place from air, fire. If you remember, we read this in detail in the third canto when the creation was being discussed. That from ether, air comes, from air comes fire, from fire comes water, from water comes earth. Yeah, and then from earth comes all the subtle elements and all other manifestations takes place. Yeah. So that's the point here, that manifestation and unmanifestation is a process of life, just like any other processes that are in life. We don't regret for when the sun rises and the sun sets. We don't regret, oh, and then we don't keep lamenting. Yeah, we know it's going to come back again the next morning. Same way, the soul is going to come back again, and maybe if we have association at that particular point of time, we will get his association. So that's the conclusion here, that material bodies are perishable and due course of time, but the soul is eternal, and that the soul will not die, and therefore just the outer covering is going away. Why are you crying for just the outer covering? The real soul is still existing, or maybe not with you, somewhere else it is existing. And therefore, if you're talking about loss of the person, there is no need to lament, because the person is not lost, he is still there. Yeah, of course, the loss is that he is not there with you. Yeah, but then in so many cases that happens when a person goes to a different place. Our sons and daughters go to different place to study, they are not there with us. Yeah, of course, we still think we can have association in the form of phone or video call, but still they are not there physically with us. So we don't consider that as lamentation in a very serious sense. Same way it was about this particular point. Okay, that's the manifestation and manifestation. Srila Prabhupada expands that point further. Okay, let's read one more shloka. Yeah, Prashant Prabhuji.
अहो वयं धन्यतमा यदत्र त्यक्ताः पितृभ्यां न विचिन्तयामः अभक्ष्यमाणा अबला वृकादिभिः सरक्षिता रक्षति यो हि गर्भे.
Very nice.
It is wonderful that these elderly women do not have a higher sense of life than we do. Indeed, we are most fortunate, for although we are children and have been left to struggle in material life, unprotected by father and mother, and although we are very weak, we have not been vanquished or eaten by ferocious animals. Thus, we have a firm belief that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has given us protection even in the womb of the mother, will protect us everywhere.
So that is the deep faith that Lord Yama is talking of, that we will always be protected and our near and dear ones will always be protected. And again, when we think of near and dear ones, only this Janma we are thinking of you had near and dear ones in your previous Janma. Do you think about them at all? You've forgotten about them altogether, isn't it? You don't even, they don't even come in your dreams probably. Maybe sometime somewhere in a reference they might come, but there is no consideration for that. So this me and mine is so temporary because only till the body exists. Otherwise, it is of no use. Srila Prabhupada refers to the beautiful verse, Ishvara Sarva Bhutana Amriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Lord is present in the core of everyone's heart. And therefore, he is the one who protects every one of us. All we have to do is ask for protection. And of course, the same point comes back. One should not lament birth and death of a living being, which has been arranged by the Supreme Lord. And if you have full faith on the Supreme Lord, automatically you know what is happening is always correct. Na sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto smrit jnana mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Now that the Lord is seated in everyone's heart, and that's what the Lord says. So what is the best way? Best way is to just go through, tolerate all these extremities, and surrender to the Supreme Lord. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja. Give up all duties and simply surrender unto Lord Krishna. That's the point Lord makes. And if you not, then we will end on doing so many births and deaths again and again and again. Bahunam janmanam ante keeps on happening. Only when the next line of this verse is Jnanavan vam prapadyate. Yeah, after a lot of birth, old age, disease, and death, a Jnani really comes to the position of surrender to the Lord. And then he basically gets liberated at that point of time. Okay, so let's close here. In this particular, this looks like Hiranyakashipu Gita. Yeah, not Bhagavad Gita, but he is quoting good philosophy in that sense. So if good philosophy comes on, just like in the Kali Yuga, it is said that if you see gold in a gutter, you'll still pick up the gold, right? So wherever philosophy comes from, good philosophy comes from, whether it comes from a demon or a demoniac person is irrelevant. Hare Krishna. Okay, any other thoughts or comments or questions?
He is in the previous shloka used the word Supreme Personality of Godhead. So
sorry, we missed in the beginning, Prabhu.
In the previous shloka 38, that we ended, there is a reference to Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he has protected all of us in the womb. So Hiranyakashipu is saying that Yamaraja, who came as a child, and he is told this.
Yamaraja has told this particular point, that the Supreme Lord protects us everywhere, even in the womb of the mother, he protects us. Yeah, and of course, the example is there of so many things. And of course, the womb of the mother itself is protection, right? Finally, in that sense.
It's being told by Hiranyakashipu. So there is a reference of Lord in Hiranyakashipu's story.
Exactly. Very nice. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Niti Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in the here in we just learned that till the body is annihilated, till that time, that dead body the soul doesn't get transferred.
No,
But
it comes out.
yeah,
It
but
is
it
not
doesn't
there.
transfer to the
But
other body.
it is hovering around, and it does not go to the other body till the time the old body is destroyed.
Yes, but when we were doing Chitraketu's story, in that when his little boy died and he was brought to life again by the Angira Rishi and Narad Muni, then that soul failed to recognize, and we just
Because he had already gone.
that he must have taken birth, but the body was still there and the funeral didn't happen. But still he took birth, maybe 2 or 3 times in that short period, because he was unable to recognize the parents, and he said that no, you are not my parents because I failed to recognize you. So then maybe that soul is just because there is some discounts as per Yamaraj. So
Probably.
was probably that discount given to him.
Also, maybe he was a young boy, right? He probably hadn't got so much attachment to his existing body as yet. See, as we grow older, we get more and more attached to our own extensions and our own creations and our own body. When we are young, we are just carefree, and so maybe the soul wasn't so much attached at that particular point of time. So depends. Must be many other reasons also. But it's a good question to check actually. Very nice question.
Mataji, we can't say it is a discount. It's a Yamaraja's or the saintly people. They have the power to, on these issues. So we can't say it's a discount or something. It's for their service. The soul comes to prove that it's not having any rights on the previous or future births. It doesn't have any link, and by the forgetfulness comes from the Lord. The basically is that, so it won't recognize. That's a arrangement of material nature. So we can't say it's a discount. I mean,
No,
how come
Maharaj,
the discount word?
my word was not to
Hare
say
Krishna.
that, since it was mentioned by Yamraj in this recent shlokas, wherein he said that, to some souls, some justice can be given, and some kindness might be shown by Yamraj, and although the body has not the funeral has not been performed yet, the soul might be transferred to another body. For that
Might,
depends
yes.
on how the soul, the karmic reactions of the soul were, or how kind that soul was. Maybe Prabhuji is right, because Prabhuji, was a mention wherein the babies below 5 years, their karmic reactions are not considered very high, because
Yeah, they're considered
same,
animalistic. Yeah.
that story of Vidur Maharaj, who had to take birth because of this, right? Because he was punished because of the mistake that he performed when he was very small, below 5 years, had killed an ant, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still,
he was.
he kind of
Yeah. So
yeah.
he then Yamaraj, he had to born as because of that shrap and curse.
Correct.
He had to born. So maybe because that boy was still feed on feed of his mother. So that ways he was very small. Maybe, I don't know.
Possible. Yeah, but again, these are matters of karma, and these are matters of attachments. Can't be said which are where every rule is applicable. But generally, as a Vedic principle, the body is destroyed as soon as the soul leaves the body. That is only to ensure that the soul does not unnecessarily meander around because there is a possibility of that thing happening. That is the point that Srila Prabhupada makes, and that's why your doubt has come, basically.
Yeah, also Prabhuji, there is one more point. Like it is said that generally when the body, the Paramatma is residing within each body, and as soon as that body dies, the Paramatma already leaves. So that body becomes completely, there is no,
No, Paramatma leaves, I am not sure. Only when the body
yeah.
gets destroyed, the
So
Paramatma
soul
gets
is not
merged with
there.
the.
Because the soul is not there
Soul
inside
is
the.
not there, Paramatma is
Yeah,
still there.
so yeah, maybe in form of atom, yeah, because the body is still there. But the as soon as that soul leaves, that it said that normally, as per Vedic rules, that the body becomes untouchable. Like it is better, to just perform the funeral as soon as possible, so
Correct.
that
No,
because
it becomes very much unhazardous for everybody. That's why it has to be done.
yeah, okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, great. Let's do closing. Sorry, Prashant, would you have a point? Go ahead.
Prabhuji, not just this 38th verse where Hiranyakashipu gets realization through Narada's story. Even in the 10th verse, very indirectly, he says, if we kill Vishnu, the purpose of Yajna is defeated. So he is very much aware that he's the ultimate Yajna. So he
Correct.
openly tells the demon. So let's kill Vishnu himself so that, he's the Yajnapati. I think the word Prabhupada mentions is Yajneshwara or Yajnapati. So he's there in all cases.
Correct. So he's aware, in fact, that's the aspect also, that he, what should I say? He is a very able warrior to the Lord, and that's why the Lord has chosen him also, in that sense, isn't it? Oh.
The same I feel the Hiranyakashipu, he recognized Supreme Personality Godhead. That's why he mentions, and he knows the presence or existence of the Lord, but he thinks himself as the competitor. He feels himself as equal on all qualities wise. So that's why he's a demon. He is a opposite of the Supreme Lord. He knows, even though they have the knowledge, but they think they are superior or equal. So there may be mention of the Lord's presence, and is that in the translation, if you see. So it's not like they don't know. They know, but they think they're equal and competitor of the Lord's position.
Yeah, the point is avajananti mam mudha, right? Avajananti. So they know, but they don't want to agree. That's why the word avajananti is used, basically, for mudras or for demons. Yeah, Niti Mataji, go ahead.
Prabhuji, we are studying the science of God, in wherein the God is considered equal towards demons as well as towards demigods. And we have studied that there is no such concept like demigods. It's only the difference that is there is because demigods are performing devotional service and they have completely surrendered to God. That is why God he is doing same thing for both of them, but because they are performing devotional service and they are completely having faith in God, that is why they have been little more favorable, like a
No,
mother.
no, no.
A mother also, maybe a mother is unbiased towards all her children, but or even students for that matter. A teacher is unbiased towards all his students, but there will be a
Sorry,
student bright
how is
and
this connected? How is this connected, Mataji? I missed the connection. Why
sorry,
are we saying this?
Prabhuji, like I'm saying that demons and demigods, the concept,
Yeah,
it's a
because sattva guna, no?
it's not.
Which guna is acting on them, that is what decides demigods or demons.
Yeah, but Prabhuji, is there like for God, everyone is equal. So why
Correct.
we are specifying that he's a demon, and even we are using this word Shri before demons when we are addressing. So why
Yeah.
we
So
call
demons is
them
bad. Why
demons?
assuming demons is bad? Word.
Why we are assuming them as bad? They are also
No,
so
we are not
knowledgeable.
assuming demons are bad.
Yeah, that's why.
Lord Krishna is assuming, Lord Krishna is telling us that being in mode of ignorance is bad.
Yeah, because I thought, okay.
No, therefore we are reading Hiranyakashipu Gita. No?
Yeah, correct.
Otherwise, we would not have read it. Hare Krishna. Okay, great. So let's close with closing prayers. Yeah, Srinivasa Prabhu can do closing prayers.
कृष्ण अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भावसमन्विताः मच्चित्ता मद्गतप्राणा बोधयन्तः परस्परं कथयन्तश्च मां नित्यं तुष्यन्ति च रमन्ति च तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मामुपयान्ति ते तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थमहमज्ञानजं तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता अहमेवासमेवाग्रे नान्यद्यत् सत्परं पश्चादहं यदेतच्च योगशिष्येत सोऽस्म्यहं ऋते अर्थं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यादात्मनो मायां यथा भासो यथा तमः यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चेष्वनु प्रविष्टान्यप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम् एतावदेव जिज्ञास्यं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्वयवतिरेकाभ्यां यत्स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Randraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
everyone.
Krishna.
हरे